Triggered people be triggered as a non-triggered person?
Say that 3 times fast.
Yes. I just try to say it as politically correct, but like there are some people who I don't align with that I love watching, get beat down in the comments, and then there are people who I do align with who I also love watching get beat down in the comments. And that X is the platform where that happens most often.
Hello. Welcome back to another brand new episode of the What the Nell podcast. This is the EcoPreneur's Edge edition, officially season 3 of the EcoPreneur's Edge. And I'm just elated. I've decided to trade the word excited, because I say it all the time, for elated, because we're opening season 3 today, and we've got an awesome topic: social media. Social sustainability. But first, let's reintroduce ourselves. Mikee, my guest. I keep calling you my guest. You're my co-host for this series. Welcome back. I'm super excited. I hope you're refreshed after a little bit of a hiatus.
Yes, Nell, thank you so much. It's always an honor to be here. The Robin to your Howard Stern.
You're a little more than the Robin, okay?
Well,
let's be honest.
I'm just going to pretend it's my dream job and be the Robin to your Howard Stern. So I'll take it. For those who don't know me, I'm Mikee with 2 E's. They stand for excited and elated. No, I'm just kidding. They stand for the EcoPreneur's Edge. No, I'm also just kidding. Okay, I'm seriously done. It stands for the environment and everyone, the 2 things that I care about most. I'm a sustainable business owner, a sustainability coach, a life coach, a business coach, a fitness coach, all the coaches. So I have built my brand, my life, and my career on sustainability, whether that's in the form of treating the environment friendly, or making sure that my business lasts well into the future, and hopefully creating a legacy that even outlasts me. If anyone wants to write my Wikipedia page, I would be honored to accept that. But I do believe that this topic fits right into the EcoPreneur's Edge in the form of, eco-friendly sustainability, but also business sustainability, because in today's landscape, we need to sort through more noise and break through and bust through and brand through more noise than has ever been created in the entirety of human history. So Nell, I'm super excited to talk about this and what we can do, what's working for us, what we love, what we don't love, and maybe come up with tips, tricks, and techniques for anyone utilizing social media in their life or business.
Yes, I love that. What a perfect segue into the subject, because a lot of that noise that we have to filter through comes from social media. And we were just talking right before we hit record, we were just talking about, the platforms. When you say, oh, I'm Metro Mikee on all social media platforms, and you discovered recently that you actually weren't on all social media platforms. So, we were talking about Blue Sky, we were talking about X, we were talking about Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of the platforms. So which ones are you finding right now to be in your wheelhouse that you spend most of your time with?
So thank you, Nell. Great questions. I think that we'll have to keep this a little centered in reality, because there are just a bajillion social media platforms. And let's do a definition. Social media is going to be any platform that shares user-generated content. I know in the business world, we call that UGC. And that is going to be something that we create and then we gift, share, market, or sell to the world. So those, would include things, just to stay on track, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, Blue Sky, Discord, Telegram, Snapchat. YouTube is actually now, it is the world's largest search engine, but it is also one of the world's largest social media platforms. And especially they now fit into the mold with YouTube Shorts. So I will say Number one, I have to give it. Well, oh my gosh, I'm a dinosaur. So
You're not a
let's
dinosaur.
just. I'm not a fossil yet, but I am a dinosaur. So let's just remember uh, the OG platforms like MySpace and
Oh,
LiveJournal, and I think there was one called Zynga, which was also and wasn't there
oh my gosh.
Friendster?
Friendster. Oh my gosh. Wow. I haven't heard that name probably since that was a thing.
And then we also just have to give credit to another OG. It wasn't quite a social media platform, but like, Friendster would lead me into Napster because that was
Yes.
people sharing their music
Yeah.
illegally.
Yes, very, very highly illegally. Never engaged in any of that, burning CDs from Napster. No, never, at all.
Plausible deniability across the board.
Full. So, could you imagine having, like, in today's world, could you imagine the complications with having a MySpace top eight?
No, I love the top eight, and I'm Petty Betty if you spell it with two E's. So sometimes your top eight just needed a little, reminder that they need to earn the top eight. It's not just given.
I can't even imagine what that would be like in today's climate. But no, you're right. I mean, my gosh. And LiveJournal, I forgot about LiveJournal too. I guess that's kind of, is that similar? Well, Substack is a thing now too. I guess that's a social media platform too.
User generated content.
Absolutely. So, so which platforms do you find most relevant to you, your lifestyle, and your businesses these days?
So I went back to the OG because that is really what kind of taught me about digital networking, which is my main goal for social media. Initially, it was digital networking to create my friends group. Then Facebook came out, and that was a great way to stay in contact with friends, college friends, which I went to trade school, so I wasn't allowed to be on Facebook when it debuted.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I had to wait a little while, but then I started collecting my network of friends. Then I went to beauty school, got into my career and opened my salon. So I will always, always, always have a non-triggered, nostalgic, sentimental view of Facebook because back in the day, not everyone sold to everyone online. And so I was able to share my gifts and my talents, and I still share my gifts and my talents. And I am a firm believer of if I put good out there, I will get good back. So
Yeah.
I love sharing and marketing myself, but I try not to sell myself. But all of that is said, I love Facebook because it is my community. Like it is my online community, the way that my neighborhood or my business, locale is my community. So Facebook probably helps build 25 to 50% of my business back in the day. I remember when Instagram wasn't a thing, Instagram probably helped build another 2 to 5% of my business. So I already owe maybe upwards of 55% to social media.
Yeah.
So those two are amazing. And currently I have a love-hate or a hate-love relationship with X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Like I prefaced, I'm not easily triggered. So I love seeing a lot of different perspectives, and I love watching triggered people be triggered as a non-triggered person.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yes. I just try to say it as politically correct, but like there are some people who I don't align with that I love watching, get beat down in the comments, and then there are people who I do align with, who I also love watching get beat down in the comments, and that X is the platform where that happens most often. So it is very wild, wild west of the social media land. But I am on TikTok, I am on Discord, I am on Telegram, I am now on Blue Sky. So when I say at Metro Mikey on all platforms, you can find me at Metro Mikey on all platforms. I do have a Snapchat. I will never use it, but I have it. So I'm there. What about you, Nell?
Oh gosh. So social media is such a love-hate relationship with it. I was a big, big fan of MySpace back in the day. And I went to college in 2003, 2004. So Facebook, we were kind of just hearing about it coming up through. And I knew at the time you had to have a .edu email address. And I actually left college in 2004. So I think I left around the time that I would have probably started a Facebook page. And then when I didn't have the .edu, I couldn't have Facebook. So, and a lot of people, a lot of Gen Zers, especially these days, don't know the history of Facebook. And I think I actually officially joined January 1 of 2007. I was at a wedding and people were talking about it and like, yeah, it's a great way to stay in touch with childhood friends and people that you went to school with and graduated with and things like that. And I thought, oh, this is really cool. So Facebook for me started out as a connective piece because I moved away from my hometown, and it started as a way for me to stay connected to people that I had lived with and were friends with and things like that. So as time went on, it evolved and it became, specifically a few years ago when I went full time with the business, it became very business oriented for me. And I was one of those people that was trying to sell through what I was posting because I wanted people to align with me. I followed a specific regimen. I posted motivation in the morning. I posted funny joke in the afternoon, and I posted anything else, call to action at night. And so I posted 3 times a day, every day for almost a year, and that was exhausting. And then people started talking about algorithms and which platform was better for what type of media. So Instagram is better known for reels and videos versus Facebook. It's usually a static graphic or a photo. So I particularly spend most of my time on Instagram, on my personal page, on my stories. Just because I feel like a lot of the content that I post is meant to be short-lived. I don't use Snapchat. I have tried actually, and I just, for some reason, I can't get into it. And I do have an X account. I've had it for a very long time. I don't ever use it. But I just gravitate towards Instagram. And I do use Facebook. That would be my second, my top. This is literally, I use Instagram and Facebook. That's about it. And Facebook I use for posting for things that I feel like should be more permanent, maybe. I don't know. I still question what my goals are with social media because the majority of our business doesn't come from social media. It comes from referrals, word of mouth, email newsletter, things like that. So yeah, I don't know. As far as sustainability and social media, what keeps me going is just the connection piece with people that I want to stay connected with and relevancy, honestly.
That's so great. And excuse me, I think that something that I didn't share is like I kind of utilize each social media platform as its own driving force. So Facebook is going to be my community. Yeah. I also heard somewhere along the line that Facebook is your target market of people who would read the newspaper now. Oh,
that's good.
Instagram is going to be a little bit more for my portfolio. They had an algorithm update where they made your display name on Instagram searchable in a Google search. So when people go Metro Mikee or Mikee Bentz, it comes up my Instagram on a Google search. So that is a great way to show people I'm not a catfish. Because people are like, oh my gosh, I need a hairdresser. I need somebody who specializes in eco-friendly platinum and blonding services. Hair salons near me. And, it will come up. And then my Instagram is linked where I never archive or delete any posts on my Instagram. Yeah. I have a lot, and it kind of ratios me because I have like almost as many posts as I do that I'm following, and almost as many following as I do who follows me. So I know that I don't have Kim Kardashian level, where 55 million people follow me and I only follow 2 people. But it leaves a trail of authenticity. Yes. So when you can see that I'm Mikee with 2 E's. I own a sustainable salon. I do hair sometimes. I'm an awesome public speaker if you want to hire me. to do your
Yes.
digital radio show or whatever.
Yes.
I have a pole dance studio, so if you want fitness training, you can do that. And then you can also see, kind of intimate moments about my life,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm more than just a salon owner, and I'm more than just a dance studio owner. I'm more than just an entrepreneur. So Facebook is my community, Instagram is my portfolio. Most of my business actually still comes from word of mouth referrals. I luckily have hired an amazing employee who can take a lot of the business that I can no longer take.
Yeah.
Um, but if I do take somebody new, it is almost 100% via word of mouth. Like my
Mm-hmm.
insert friend here needs
Mm-hmm.
somebody they can trust. Mikey, you're the only person. How long do they have to wait? Is it a 6-month wait to get into your books? And I'm like, no, it's probably just 12 weeks, but I'll get them in. But if it's not Facebook or Instagram, a lot of my business sustainability comes from Google and Yelp,
Yeah.
because those are
Oh,
also social
yeah.
media platforms.
They are. Actually, when you were talking about this, I forgot to mention Google. Google is huge. I just actually recently, last week, I think it was, somebody, if you search videographer in Lebanon, PA, then Enticing Media comes up. And so a lot of people do find us that way, which is awesome. And I, for some reason, neglected to mention YouTube, because YouTube is actually part of our business. I mean, we manage YouTube channels, produce YouTube content. So that's huge too. And there's several different channels that we have a footprint across. And so that's also, people, I especially lately started uploading weekly videos to YouTube, long form videos, with tips and tricks for entrepreneurs over 40 that are trying to create content. They're business owners, they're busy, I don't want to have to deal with any of this stuff. Tell me how to do it. So I started posting videos like that. So I've had a lot more website traffic and a lot more traffic coming in from those long form YouTube videos, which is really cool, because then it just gets people talking, it gets people interested, and they're like, hey, I want to know more about what you do and how can you help me further? So those types of things, Google. And then, I mean, specifically because you're an in-person business. Not that I'm not, but I don't have a storefront that you can just walk into. Yelp. What are some of the other ones? I'm drawing a blank. Yelp. Well, obviously Google reviews. What's the other
Google
one?
My Business and Yelp are the two biggest drivers
Are they?
for,
Okay.
the kind of like an online review
Mm-hmm.
engine.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there's, and I don't know why like TripAdvisor comes to my
TripAdvisor.
mind.
That's what I was trying to
But
think
like
of.
there are many places. There used to be Foursquare, I think,
Oh,
which
yeah.
got like I think Meta purchased that, and they
Mm-hmm.
use that with their location data, like when you can check in to businesses, I think.
Got it.
So there were a lot of things like Yelp that
Mm-hmm.
you can utilize as well, but that is also a social media, content platform.
Absolutely. One thing I would love to actually, this kind of just popped into my head. I would love to talk to someone from Meta specifically, just because they're the conglomerate here, about their sustainability practices. I don't think anybody really thinks about social media because it's all so digital. What are their practices within their organization? How are they contributing to sustainability? Are they contributing to sustainability? I would love to talk to somebody from Meta or Google.
I would love, hopefully, we can clip that from the AI transcriber and make sure that specific verbiage gets out there, searchable on the interwebs.
Yeah.
But that's a huge a huge reason why I'm a fan and advocate for Apple, because
Mm-hmm.
even though they're not a social media platform, they are a distribution hub for
Mm-hmm.
all the social media platforms.
Sure.
So I at least feel a little bit better using my phone in dark mode, my laptop in dark mode,
Yeah.
because it saves up to 30%, of your battery, which means less charges, less. I broadcast with renewable energy every single time, but
Mm-hmm.
still, I want to save the energy if I don't need it.
Right.
But Apple is very transparent and open and honest. They were always a little bit more sustainable as a cost savings
Mm-hmm.
measure in their company, but now
Mm-hmm.
they have committed to so much more sustainable efforts. So you can say what you want about the walled garden and da da da, but Apple is truly a company that inspires me and I believe in, and I'm glad to consume social media on their devices.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a huge fan. I have everything that we operate from is an Apple product. Phones, iPads, uh, computers, everything. And I do love what they're doing. I think their interface is very user friendly. I think that there are other goals in mind than just selling the best product out there, which is amazing. But yes, some of these huge companies, these massive conglomerates, I would love to know what they're doing because they're so, I mean, and even just with Apple, like when you have to get rid of your iPhone, what happens to it? What happens when you turn it in? And anybody, even if you work for Verizon or one of the big cell carriers, I would love to talk to them about their sustainability practices too. What happens to these electronics and these devices? We talked to Dauphin County recycling director Kelly McConnell in last season. We know locally on a level what happens to some of that, but what happens at these big companies, I am just dying to know.
That is such good ideas for future episodes. I'm hoping that we're putting that out there, so we will get that. But I would also, I was sitting here listening and being impressed because we can now reference our own catalog of work. Because we can also go back to the energy and how to procure it episode and talk about these large companies like Meta and X and TikTok and talk about their energy consumption.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the recycling aspect of it, but these huge data centers are consuming tons of energy. They're utilizing so much water for cooling purposes.
Yeah.
Like, how do we get it? Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin mining. Like, how do we get these large digital companies, AI, social media, how do we get them to, number one, be open and transparent about their sustainability efforts? But also, I championed nuclear energy in our episode because I think that is the only current scalable technology. While it does create nuclear waste, there are ways to reinvest that nuclear waste into future energy. And then it's the only thing that's going to produce enough power currently to power our ever advancing technological and digital world.
Yeah. I mean, that's a real thing we talk about all the time about how the grid can't handle all of this and what are we doing about it to actually handle it? And these data centers, not only are they using they're procuring energy from somewhere, but there are physical locations. What are we doing on the land? What are we doing with the building supplies and the materials and everything? I mean, that all comes into play, and these data centers are going to become more prevalent. And so yes, I think we're putting a call out there for anyone that works for one of these huge corporations. We would love to talk to you. But Mikee, you mentioned a word in there, and I wanted to touch on this quickly before we wrap up our season 3 opener here. You said the word future. And there are future episodes coming up for us, and we actually happen to have a couple in the bank already. So what do we have to look forward to in season 3?
So I know this is coming out after our season 2 wrap up, where we talked about a lot of the things that worked well. So we wanted to build upon that for our future episodes, which we have already done and will be doing. But one thing that worked really well was our guest episodes.
Yes.
And so we're so excited to invite some new, fresh faces onto the What the Nell EcoPreneur's Edge podcast. And we also talked about changing things up maybe with a live broadcast, and even I don't know if it will be season 3, but a goal of ours is to do a live in-person broadcast of What the Nell EcoPreneur's Edge.
Yes. And so for anybody that's been listening this and for all of the seasons, first of all, we appreciate you so much. But Mikee and I have never actually met in person. So I don't know if anybody believes that or not. I almost don't believe it because I feel like we've known each other forever, but we have never met in person. So I almost feel like the first time we meet in person, we have to do a live broadcast.
I'm 100% down for that. And it's so funny because I was just helped to realize that I am very open with my emotions and my intuition and my trust. And even though we've never met, in person now, I do feel like we've known each other forever. And I mean, in digital age, it is forever. Like it's 4 years. So what is that, 400 years?
That's 400 years in digital years.
But we did meet digitally via
Mhm.
social media, thank goodness. And this
Mhm.
is why I will always have a soft spot in my heart for social media because it's brought me so many amazing connections in my life that I would have otherwise never found.
Yeah, and that's important. Thank you for circling back to that because I mentioned connection and relevancy is why I, in particular, stay connected to social media. And yes, social media has, if you utilize it properly, there are some amazing finds on social media. You, for instance, other people that you've connected with, relationships are formed. They can be maintained easier by utilizing social media and properly. And it really can be a beautiful thing. And I think if I could offer one tip for people to help social media be more sustainable for them, I would weed through. I would go through who you're following. I would see what pops up in your feed first and go through, comb out what is not serving you. Figure out what your goals are on social media. Is it to grow your business? Is it to grow your brand? Is it to grow your following? Is it to grow connections? How are you utilizing it? And then go through and weed out the accounts that are not serving you. If you follow a politically charged account and it's just if it is a triggering thing for you, if you are someone that's easily triggered, get rid of it. Why do you even follow it? It's not serving you. It's not moving the needle forward. So that would be my advice, is to follow people and accounts that help you achieve your goals and move the needle forward for you so that you can be a more than productive member of the social media society.
I love that, Nell. I think that is wise and sound advice, and I hope that that helps people who needed to hear that. I'm also going to offer my one tip, and I'm in a very weird place in my social media career. I meant to mention this earlier, but like I have a great catalog on Facebook. I have a great catalog on Instagram. I have a great catalog on TikTok of authentic things that people, should they need to find me, they can know about me. Um, it is changing every day. So the things that were working won't always work, and the things that will work, we haven't even thought of yet.
So true.
So, um, on certain platforms, I do love post once a day because there is some power to quantity over quality now. And if you post and uh, um, can I come back to that? Why it's important to post once a day? Remind me now, because I'm gonna go on a little tangent. My tip, trick, technique, tidbit is post and ghost. Because a lot of us, and I know that I'm blessed to have an in-person business where you can walk in and it's not digitally focused all day, every day.
Right.
So I will post, I will go do 4 to 6 hair clients, and then I will come back at the end of the day. I have barely even had time to touch my phone, let alone check notifications.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will post something and it will go wildly viral.
That's
and
amazing.
Other times I will post and it will be complete crickets.
Sure.
I know that that's not always about me. It doesn't give me any validity or take any away from my self-esteem. But what it does tell me is what to post more of once a day.
Yes.
So I post and ghost, and then I come back and see what works and post more of what's working.
I love that, post and ghost. That's so interesting. Yeah, I feel like you gave actually a lot of tips within that one tip. So yeah, that's really important. I love that so much. Okay, so you talked about posting once a day. So that's typically what you subscribe to. You post once a day.
It depends on which platform.
Okay. Okay.
So I know that my posting, I get notifications on Facebook because I have been consistent on Facebook and I've created quality content that Facebook, the algorithm, even if the people don't touch my account, they know that I'm a great account. So I will get notifications from Facebook itself saying your photos get 248% more view time than other people's photos. And that's just because I've created I've posted so much and so often that Facebook knows that I'm verified, and I don't pay for Facebook. Facebook is free and always will be. That's what it used to say when I logged in before we had mobile phones. So but Facebook knows that. Facebook will increase my distribution because I posted consistent high quality reels. So on Facebook, I know intuitively that what I post and when I post is going to be seen by my community because I built it brick by digital brick.
I love that.
On other platforms, like I did a TikTok challenge, and I'm not TikTok's. The people, the consumers on TikTok don't like me.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I utilized that. I did a posting challenge. I started with hair content and life content, and that did not do well. Then I switched it over to dance studio only content, and that did great, but I consistently get shadow banned.
Oh my gosh.
Because I believe the algorithm decided that I'm not putting out family friendly content. So they Disney'd me.
Oh my gosh, I love that term. Wow.
So I know that there are certain and like Instagram, I will try to utilize my stories every day because that is also a community, even though that's more of my portfolio. I am not trying to get myself a lot of business right now. I'm trying to get my dance studio business, and I'm trying to get my new employee at my salon business. So that's kind of what I was saying. I'm in a weird place with social media because I don't need it to build a sustainable business because I've already spent my entire adult life utilizing social media to do that. So in 10 years, if you start today and you build yourself an amazing business, you also won't have to be triggered or use social media. But you just have to put in that 10 years of hard work. And it's a even weirder place because we don't even know what social media is going to look like in 10 years. So like,
we don't know what it's going to look like in 10 minutes.
I know. So start now. Just go post 10 things right now and hope that one of them. And our goal for social media is not virality. Virality doesn't pay the bills.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
I try not to bring sound effects, into the microphone, but I had to just clap on that because going viral does not mean my bills get paid. So I am posting things that align with my business mission, my knowledge, my expertise, my niche. I'm not really niched down on my social media anymore because I have created. People know who I have a brand, I have a reputation, I have expertise, I have education, I have demand. So I don't have to niche, but if you're starting out, post 10 things right now, make sure it's in your niche, and then post once a day, every day for the next 10 years. And you'll be successful, I promise.
There you go. I love that. All right, people. So take that, and I hope you're taking all of this information from this episode. Use it to your advantage. You can learn. You can be a forever student, but nothing's going to happen if you don't take action. So do what Mikee said. Post every day. Post 10 things right now. Post every day for the next 10 years, once a day, and you are golden. So, this has been such a good open to season 3, Mikee. I'm so excited for the rest of the season, what we have in store, the guests that we have, and it's amazing. So thank you. I think this is the perfect way to wrap up this episode.
So I know I'm going to have to interject here because we didn't even talk about our cataloged episode of user-generated content platform podcasts.
Oh my gosh.
So we don't have to talk about that now. But as you were referencing, things to do and where to do them, I was like, oh, dang. We didn't
Mikee,
even touch on that.
Does that mean one thing? Does that mean that we do too much?
We might do too much, but I'm here for it.
I know. Life would be really boring. Oh, we're just going to have all the fun this season. I know it. Yeah. So here we are. Utilize this podcast. This is a social media too. All of your podcast platforms. And speaking of platforms, if you are listening on your favorite audio platform, you should definitely follow us and subscribe and leave us a review. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know if you think you would make a great guest on an episode. So we want to hear from you for sure. So Mikee, thank you again for being an amazing co-host. I didn't even call you a guest this time, so I'm very proud of myself.
Yay, moving up in the world. Thank you. It's always an honor to be here, and I'm just looking forward to creating, 1,000 million more episodes with you.
Oh, I love that. Let's keep it going, you guys. And if you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone, and like the video, comment, questions, anything, let us know. And so give What the Nell podcast a follow everywhere. And we'll see you on episode 2 of the EcoPreneur's Edge, season 3. So get ready. It's going to be fun. We'll catch you on the next one.